Okay, my friends, here we are back in my kitchen. Thanks for joining me. I got my base paint puddle down and up came my daughter. It's amazing how this child knows. She just knows. Tonight she needed change for a $50 bill. So, because I'm money bags, I keep that kind of cash lying around. Ha ha. Not really. So, anybody that was watching my video last night knows that I'm tried a couple different things. First of all, I'm painting on a vinyl floor tile. Yesterday I stopped at the Habitat for Humanity store to pick up some ceramic tiles, and all of their flooring was on sale for half price, and they didn't have any large ceramic tiles. But what they did have were these vinyl tiles, and I thought, well, do I risk spending the thick coin and dropping a quarter down on a vinyl tile? Tee-hee-hee. And I thought, why not? So for 25 cents, I grabbed myself half a dozen of them, came home, painted a couple last night, and this is one of them. So I'm super happy with the way it came out. It has really nice coverage for paint, which we'll talk about in a minute. I'm happy with the piece, but I'm happy with the substrate, which is what we're talking about right now. It does have a bit of a striated look. There, you can see it now. And I'm okay with that. Some people want things perfectly smooth. I personally don't really care. And I often paint with a texture in my paint. So, you know what? This just has a slight striated look, which is supposed to replicate wood. I'm all right with that. See the sparkly dragonfly glaze, you guys? That's it. When I drop down that clear dragonfly glaze, it goes on creamy white, dries clear, leaves behind these just beautiful little deposits of sparkles. That's what it looks like dry. So that was my one piece from last night. My other piece I've already posted. So my base plate is down and my base paint is slightly different too. So I also picked up two of these sample pots by Benjamin Moore. Base one, the piece I just showed you on was a pale yellow. This is a pale gray. So my ultimate goal, guys, is to find one base paint that works consistently every time. I don't want to screw around with it. I don't want to add pouring medium. I don't want to add polyurethane, polyurethane. I don't want to add Floetrol. I just want it to work with the least amount of additives possible. So I figure if I have to pay a little bit more money for a more expensive brand of paint and I don't have to put any additives in it, I'm really going to come out with the same anyway. So I was super happy with the color Benjamin Moore I used last night, or the quality of paint. It's really creamy and smooth and it moves nice. So in 4 ounces of paint, I put roughly half to 3/4 of a teaspoon of boiling water in it. The only reason it's boiling is because I was making hot chocolate and the kettle happened to be there. And everything dried perfect, it moved perfect, no Floetrol, no pouring medium, no anything. Just paint and water. So let's try this again. So I picked some random colors. Some might be a tiny bit thick. Sorry guys, I should have done this before you joined me, but let's just thin this down. This is Payne's Gray. Once my paint is mixed originally, then I thin everything if it needs thinning with a little bit of just polyacrylic and water. If you get too much water in your paint, guys, water has no binder in it, so the paint will break up into these particles and just look crappy. And we don't want that. We want it to be pretty. So let's give this a bit of a stir and let's plop it down. All right. All right, Payne's Gray. I have a whole bunch of just bizarre colors picked out with not really a lot of thought, and so we're just kind of going to go with it. This is the FX Blue. It's called Mutant Shift. FX Mutant Shift. This is their blue, one of their blues. They have two. It's really pretty. Really pretty. A little bit more expensive, but it's like everything. A little goes a long way. This is a golden yellow. Kind of a mustard shade, really. It's It's probably the best way to describe it. This is copper. Guys, I can't tell you who makes it or what it's called. It's just copper. It was kind of made up with a bunch of pots of paint that I had sitting around, and included in those pots of paint was this kind of this powder stuff that you're supposed to mix with resin, put on garage floors. And I fired it all together. This was another home mix thing. It was a little bit of bronze by FX, and I had some interference gold, so I just mixed it together. I start getting too many pots of stuff, and then I put them all in. This is FX Violet, another shift color, almost exactly the same as the folk art. FX again, this one they call Fireball, also very pretty. Again, I'm on all these FX colors right now, I think just because they're new. This is FX, they call it red, it's a rose gold. The real name is infrared. It's not red at all. It's definitely rose gold. It would make a really pretty lipstick for the ladies that are watching. Okay, Dragonfly Glaze mixed with Interference Blue. Dragonfly Glaze is in blue, green, violet shift, if you can believe that. One company can put that many colors in one pot of paint. Okay, my favorite. Actually, we're going to put a little bit of gold back in the center because I don't really want white going onto white. So, DecoArt White Satin Enamel. Makes some interesting cells. You all know I use it all the time. And should I do it, guys? Should I do it? You're all gasping at this point. I know. You're wondering, is she going to do it? Is she going to do it? Well, you know what? Yes, I am. Because it's just not me without it. Here we go. Hooker's Green, guys. Notice I have switched, though, from lime green to Hooker's Green. And when I went down to Opus to buy some paint the other day, I was so proud. I only bought one color, and that was Black Amsterdam, and I looked at the lime and I thought, we don't really need it. You have 3 or 4 other colors of green, and I didn't buy it, you guys. I walked away. That deserves a gold star on my calendar, I think. All right, now you're going to get to see the top of my head. We're going to blow this out, and we're going to hope for the best. Oh, look at that blue, you guys. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm such a fan of blues, especially when they're all sparkles. And okay, I didn't do a greatest job blowing it out, but I'm going to bring you up close and you can just check it out. White satin enamel cells are lovely. They do the coolest things. Okay, we're going to give that a second, guys. And then we're going to modify our bloom. We might blow this out one more time. We're going to give it a quick torch. See a few little bubbles. You know what? Always torch it, guys. I can't tell you how many times I've done a piece where I've looked and thought, oh yeah, I don't see any bubbles. It looks pretty good. And then as soon as I start stretching it, they all start to appear. And they just make these ugly little freckles everywhere. Not that freckles are ugly. Don't need anybody jumping on me because they're freckled. I would like to have my own freckles, but I don't want them in my paintings. I want them freckle free. Okay, we are going to blow this out one more time. I don't know where to start here. See, we had all those pretty colors hiding underneath. All right, here we go. So I'm quite fond of this with the white. I didn't blow it out very well, but I like this. This is okay. So let's go this way for now. I'm actually going to turn this so I can see it a little better. And here we go, my friends. We're going to just modify our bloom. Oh, that was not very well executed. Oh, well, let's just go crazy. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's move this around. Let's get some of these little pots of paint out of our way. And for now, that's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna move it, you guys. We're gonna shift it from side to side, back and forth, always returning to close to center. Doesn't have to be perfect. The point is we're trying to stretch without distorting. So we want to maintain shape. We have to go back in the direction we came. Just go back to where you came from, guys. We're going to go off that corner and boom, back to center. Turn it so you guys can see. Look at that pink. So pretty. Can you guys see the sparkles? It's hard to see on camera. And then we're going to go off the bottom, stretching that back over. I'm going to help that a bit because we're going to keep a bit of negative space. And all the way down. This is fairly full coverage for me. Not something I'm totally fond of, but sometimes it happens. Actually, let's just keep stretching it and get rid of that green. Oh my, get rid of the green. Sad. My daughter's gone to buy a Christmas tree. She's so excited. She and her boyfriend and my new grandbaby have just recently as of early spring last year, moved into my basement suite. So I'm very fortunate. I get grandma time on a daily basis, multiple times a day, most days. It's fun to watch them grow and change and mature into, hopefully sometime, full functioning people. And it's super fun to watch the changes with this little monkey being my granddaughter, who's a whopping 3 months old on Monday. So it's pretty fun. So they're pretty excited to have their little space down there and their first Christmas in their new place with the baby. So she's pretty pumped about getting a tree up. Her boyfriend says no, she can't put it up yet, but I'm betting it's up by Monday or Tuesday. She's kind of at my mercy because all my Christmas decorations are in the attic and I don't have time to go get them for her. But when my days off come, you can be sure that that's where you will find us, in the attic. All right. So I'm not totally chuffed with this piece, but it might be a fun piece to add a few modifications. There are some pretty sections that I care for, and some that I'm just not too fond of. So let's start with the round end of our kebab. It's not even a kebab, it's an appetizer skewer. And let's just connect this thick white line. And we're just gonna pull in those edges, just like that. And take some, we're just gonna break up some of this line. It's pretty thick. So the bigger the tool you use to modify with the lines, the larger the lines are gonna be. So keep that in mind. Sometimes large lines are nice, sometimes they're not so nice. That's really an individual preference. I never know whether I like it or not until I've stretched it out. And if I don't like it, then you'll quite often see me doing exactly this. Just filling it back in or modifying it somehow to change it because I don't like whatever the line is doing. So more of our little curlicues, guys. I did a bunch last night. Seems to hold up pretty well with this Benjamin Moore paint. That's a nice bonus. It has a little nicer consistency than the less expensive contractor's grade paint. Contractor's grade works fine. It's just a little more time consuming and a little more fiddling to get the paint to be able to hold up. Again, another perk, if I can find something that I can just do this and not have to go back, I'll be all right with that. So I think I've said this on quite a few videos. When you're doing these little swirly things, try not to push right down onto your tile or your canvas or whatever you're painting on. Just kind of hover above. You're just picking up a little bit of paint and swirling it around. This is super pretty. We have some sort of a weird white gloppy thing right there, which I probably could live without, because when it dries, it's going to dry with that gloppy thing in it. Okay, let's go in here and maybe make some little modifications in here. I really need tweezers. I think I said that last night. It might be on my days off I'll invest in some tweezers, because all of these lumpies that you can see here, when this piece dries, they're going to be just a glaring big spot right in the middle. And we don't want that. Okay, that's a little spots that we can fiddle and fool with in here. So you can see just how easy it is, you guys, just to change the feel of the piece. If you're not happy with it, you just don't feel it, you know what, change it. Go in and don't be afraid of it. Just mess with it. I'm not super fond of any of this. I'm going to keep it on the video and post the video. I probably, well, I'm not even going to say probably. I'll definitely scrape it because I'm not super happy with it. But that's just me, you guys. I have things I like and things I don't like, and right now this is one of the things I don't like. I can't even tell you why. I just don't like it. It's too busy, and I don't know. It's just too all over the place for me. But it does have some super fun, pretty spots. So I'm going to kill my overhead light. It's going to make a funny light shift. 1, 2, 3, boom. Just like that. And then I'll bring it down. I got to unplug my phone, so we're going to make another weird little bump. Bring it down, and we'll show you. Just like that. Like I said, it's not my thing. It's a bit busy for me. Pretty, but busy. There's some pretty details. I love this laced out white section. I like the sparkles and the Decoart double cells right there. When you look sideways, you can definitely see it's got lovely clean lines. There's our little curly Q things. I'm going to bring it all the way up. Take a quick look right there, and you guys are going to say goodbye to this piece because I am going to scrape it, and I'll see you back here all really soon. Thanks, guys. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for saying hello. You guys are awesome. It's only paint. You all got this. And see, not everything works out the way you planned. Bye, guys.